The world has become noisier, faster, and more connected than ever before. Information races past us at the speed of thought, but the principles of success remain timeless, rooted not in gadgets or algorithms, but in the power of a clear, unwavering mind. To think and grow rich is not merely to wish for wealth, but to command the mind to seek it with intensity, purpose, and absolute faith. Many people believe that riches are born in banks or business deals, that they are forged in mergers or minted in machines. But the truth, as it was nearly a century ago, is this: riches begin in thought. A single, well-disciplined idea, held in the furnace of desire and driven by faith, can bend the very fabric of your future. It is not the economy that makes you rich. It is not luck or connections or the privilege of birth. It is the fire that you kindle within, the decision you make to never let that fire die, no matter how cold the world may become. Let us be honest about what riches mean today. Riches are no longer just coin and currency. They are freedom. Freedom to live on your terms. Freedom to serve others. Freedom to do meaningful work that sets your soul on fire. Riches are time. Time to invest in yourself, your family, your dreams. Riches are health, peace, and influence used wisely. Money may be one part of this treasure, but it is only the outer shell of a deeper, more personal wealth. To begin the journey, you must do something radical. You must slow down, not to drift, but to take full control. Because while the world rushes, the one who succeeds is the one who thinks deliberately, who directs their mind like a captain steering through fog. You must decide that your thoughts will not be a reaction to the world. They will be the blueprint for your world. Most people live in a hypnotic rhythm. They wake up, check their phone, go through the motions, and hope that success will somehow interrupt their routine. But success never interrupts. It must be invited. It must be built with intention, day by day, brick by brick, starting first with the mental decision to demand more of yourself than the world expects of you. Success is not earned by waiting. It is claimed by imagining it with such force that your subconscious begins to treat it as inevitable. Do you believe you can be wealthy? Not just intellectually, but emotionally, viscerally, absolutely, because until that belief is planted in the deepest parts of your mind, until it takes root in your spirit and becomes more real than your current limitations, riches will remain distant. Faith in 2025 is not a spiritual accessory. It is a mental tool, the lens through which you must see your life if you ever hope to grow beyond it. If you want to change your world, you must first change your vocabulary. Stop saying, "I can't." Stop saying, "I don't know how." Stop repeating the stories that keep you broke. The language you use becomes the reality you live. Speak as if you already own the life you desire, not to lie to yourself, but to teach your mind a new truth, one it will begin to believe the more you repeat it. You must have a definite purpose, not a vague wish, not a general idea. A definite purpose is a reason so strong it pulls you out of bed with fire in your belly. It is a vision so clear you can close your eyes and walk through it in detail. Without this clarity, the mind will drift, and a drifting mind never builds riches. But with purpose, even a single hour becomes a tool of transformation. Now, ask yourself, what do you truly want? Not what others expect from you, not what society applauds. What do you, in the silence of your own heart, want to build? Define it, write it, speak it, see it, until it becomes more real than the doubts that have chained you. This is the beginning of all riches. Clarity, powered by desire, sustained by belief. Desire alone is not enough. It must become an obsession. You must want your goal with the kind of hunger that makes excuses taste bitter. It must become the dominant thought in your mind, returning again and again until it shapes your behavior without effort. People who think and grow rich do not dabble in dreams, they live in them. Too many people tiptoe toward success, afraid of failure. But understand this, you will fail, you will stumble, you will doubt. But none of that matters if you keep walking. Every successful person you admire has fallen more times than you've tried. They succeeded not because they were lucky, but because they were stubborn in the right direction. You do not need permission to begin. You do not need a degree, a loan, or someone else's approval. What you need is the decision to take yourself seriously, to believe that your life has weight and power and potential far beyond your current circumstances. Make that decision today, make it with conviction, and then act as if it were law. Wealth in 2025 does not come to the one who knows the most. It comes to the one who uses what they know with courage. In a time where information is endless, clarity and action are what set you apart. The thinkers who become rich are the ones who stop waiting and start building, not tomorrow, today. Let this be the moment you remember as the turning point. The day you decided to command your thoughts instead of letting them command you. The day you chose to think boldly with purpose and faith, knowing that riches are not some distant fortune. They are the inevitable result of a mind trained to believe, imagine, and act without hesitation. The most valuable asset you possess is not your money, your time, or even your talent. It is your ability to think. Every fortune ever made began not in a factory or a firm, but in the silence of a determined mind. And yet most people leave their thoughts unguarded, their minds undisciplined, allowing every distraction to dilute their power. But the one who grows rich is the one who learns to direct thought like a laser, cutting through confusion and carving out a life by design. If you can hold one idea in your mind with such clarity that all other thoughts are cast aside, you have already done what most never do. You have focused, you have decided, and in that decision you have become rare. Because the world is full of those who want many things, but few who want one thing enough to pursue it relentlessly. You must become one aim, and then devote your entire mind to it. Every time you sit in silence, imagining your future with feeling and intensity, you are not daydreaming, you are planting seeds. And as you do this consistently, the subconscious mind begins to respond, bending your habits, your awareness, and even your perception of opportunity toward the direction of your desire. You do not manifest wealth by mere wishing, you magnetize it by becoming the person your vision requires. The imagination is the workshop of the mind. It is not childish, it is powerful. Every invention, every empire, every breakthrough began as a vision unseen by the world, but vividly real to one persistent soul. In 2025, where we are surrounded by artificial intelligence and predictive machines, the true visionary is still the one who dares to dream with clarity and dares to act with faith. Technology may accelerate the tools, but it is the imagination that dictates the destination. You must see yourself as already wealthy, not to deceive, but to train your mind to believe. The more often you repeat the image of your success, the more it embeds into your subconscious, becoming a silent director of your actions. Speak of your goals as if they are inevitable. Think of your plans as if they are unfolding perfectly. This is not arrogance. It is alignment with truth. You are becoming who you are meant to be, and your mind must be instructed in that belief every single day. You will meet resistance. You will be told to be realistic. You will be warned to avoid disappointment. But understand this, the world you see is not the world that is. It is the world your mind is trained to notice. Change your thoughts and you will begin to see new paths, new people, new chances that were invisible to you before. This is not magic. This is the trained mind at work, revealing the abundance that was always there, waiting for you to believe it. If you want to change your circumstances, you must start by changing your self-image. You cannot live like a rich person while thinking like a poor one. You cannot behave with confidence while secretly doubting your worth. You must build yourself from the inside out, piece by piece, with thoughts of strength, discipline, purpose, and dignity. You are not faking it, you are forging it. You are constructing a new mental architecture that matches the life you are determined to build. Discipline is the bridge between thought and reality. Without it, even the strongest belief collapses under pressure. But with it, your desire becomes momentum. You must treat your mind as a garden, not a garbage dump. Refuse to entertain thoughts that weaken you. Refuse to repeat stories that limit you. Refuse to engage in habits that steal your energy and scatter your focus. Every time you make that choice, you strengthen the foundation of your future riches. The way you start your day is the way you shape your destiny. Begin each morning not in distraction, but in decision. Write your goals, speak your vision, visualize your future, feed your mind before you feed your body. Let your first act be an act of creation, one that reminds your mind who you are and where you are going. The mind, once reminded daily of its purpose, becomes an unstoppable force of attraction and action. Action without vision is aimless, but vision without action is useless. You must do both. Dream with intensity and act with discipline. Take steps each day, small or large, that prove your commitment to the life you claim to desire. When your actions align with your intentions, you build credibility with yourself. And once you trust yourself, once you believe in your own follow-through, your power multiplies. Most people fail because they stop. They stop believing, they stop pushing, they stop trying just before the miracle happens. But those who think and grow rich do not stop. They pivot, they learn, they adjust, but they continue because they know the law. Energy cannot be destroyed, only redirected. Every ounce of effort you give returns to you, multiplied, when you align with purpose and persist in action. Now is the time to recommit to your vision. Do not wait until everything is perfect. Do not wait until you feel ready. Begin now with what you have where you are. Begin even if you feel small, unsure, or alone, because the act of beginning creates clarity. It reveals strength. It attracts allies. It invites momentum. And most importantly, it proves to your subconscious mind that you are no longer hoping, you are becoming. There is no shame in starting over. There is only shame in never starting. The road to riches is not a straight line. It is a winding path filled with setbacks and surprises. But each step teaches, each detour strengthens. And the one who thinks and grows rich is not the one who walks a perfect path, but the one who keeps walking, keeps thinking, keeps believing until the vision becomes real. Faith is not a word, it is not a concept to be discussed. Faith is a state of being, a way of living that aligns every thought, emotion, and action with your chosen outcome. Faith, when fully embraced, becomes the unseen force that turns invisible desires into visible results. In 2025, with distractions at every turn and doubt only a scroll away, faith must be chosen again and again until it is no longer a choice, but a habit of mind. The most powerful weapon against failure is unwavering belief. Not just belief in your goal, but belief in yourself as the one destined to achieve it. You must begin to feel with every fiber of your being that success is not something you are chasing. It is something you are revealing. You are not hoping to become rich. You are reclaiming the riches already assigned to you the moment you dared to dream. When you act in faith, you override fear. You silence doubt. You no longer ask, what if I fail? You ask, how soon will I succeed? This shift is everything because your subconscious mind responds not to what you hope for, but to what you deeply expect. And faith, when embedded into your expectation, rewires your entire psychology toward victory. You do not walk timidly anymore. You walk with authority, as if guided by something greater than circumstance. To develop faith, you must feed it. Starve the thoughts that weaken you. Stop rehearsing what went wrong. Stop reciting the limits others gave you. Speak only of your future with power, with vision, with certainty. The more you affirm the life you want, the more that affirmation becomes the script your mind follows. You become what you constantly say, think, and believe. Speak wisely. Let your words serve your future. Let them lift you above your current reality. Speak not just what is, but what is becoming. Tell your mind, I am a builder of wealth. I am a magnet for opportunity. I am disciplined, focused, and unstoppable. Say it even when you don't feel it. Say it especially when you don't feel it, because your words will build belief, and your behavior will mold results. Doubt is a parasite of potential. It feeds on hesitation. It grows in silence. The longer you allow doubt to whisper, the louder it becomes. But when you confront it, when you answer back with conviction, when you move in spite of it, it begins to die. Faith is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to walk through fear as if you've already won. That is the strength you must now summon. Every successful person you admire once stood where you are, uncertain, imperfect, unproven. But they believed, they took action, they stumbled, and they stood again. And over time, their faith became foundation. Their belief became evidence. The results you see today are not the cause of their faith, they are the fruit of it. You must grow yours in the same way. Through repetition, through action, through resilience. You must create rituals of faith. Each morning, write your goals as if they have already happened. Visualize your success in vivid detail. Speak your affirmations aloud. Take at least one bold step toward your dream before the day ends. These small daily acts are not trivial, they are sacred. They tell your mind what to focus on. They teach your nervous system what to expect. They send signals to the universe that you are ready. Faith is the most practical tool you will ever use. It is not wishful thinking. It is mental alignment. When you believe deeply, your body follows, your posture changes, your tone changes, your decisions become faster, cleaner, bolder. You stop asking for permission, you stop hiding behind excuses, you begin to live like someone who already has the outcome. And soon, the world begins to treat you that way. In 2025, it is not the smartest who succeed, it is the most faithful. Because knowledge is everywhere now, but conviction is rare. You must become rare. You must develop such belief in your mission that no one can sway you, no environment can shake you, and no setback can stop you. This is the iron will that builds empires, creates breakthroughs, and transforms ordinary lives into legends. Even when no one believes in you, your belief must remain, especially when no one believes in you, because the truth is most people will not understand your vision until after it becomes visible. Do not wait for their validation. Validate yourself. Approve of your own dream. Certify your own courage. That is how leaders are made. That is how the rich rise. When you hit resistance, and you will, remember this: resistance is proof that you are moving forward. Doubt appears because progress is near. Struggle appears because growth is underway. You are being forged in the fire of your own faith. Let the flame purify you, not burn you. Let the challenge awaken you, not break you. Every great success story includes a chapter where it looked like nothing would work until it did, So when fear whispers, speak back with boldness. When the world says, you can't, answer, watch me. When results delay, say, it's on the way. This is not arrogance, it is spiritual confidence. You are aligning with your higher self. You are honoring your potential. And you are declaring to life itself that you will not be denied the destiny that was born inside your desire. Persistence is the invisible bridge between thought and reality. It is the quiet force that transforms hope into action and action into results. Without persistence, even the strongest desire fades. Without persistence, faith becomes momentary and dreams dissolve into the dust of forgotten intentions. But with persistence, even the smallest step forward becomes a declaration of certainty, a signal to the universe that you are no longer negotiating with your future, but claiming it. Too many begin with passion but end with excuses. They allow temporary failure to convince them that their vision was foolish, their aim unreachable. But success is never granted in the early stages. It is tested, delayed, and resisted. Life will ask, do you truly want it? And your only answer must be action. Keep going, especially when it feels useless. Keep going, especially when progress is invisible. That is when breakthroughs are born, in silence, in struggle, in solitude. You must train your mind to see obstacles not as stop signs, but as milestones. Each challenge is a rite of passage. Each setback is a teacher, and the one who persists, not with bitterness, but with clarity and calm determination, becomes indestructible. Riches do not come to those who try once and retreat. Riches come to those who knock again, even when the door has been slammed shut. They come to those who adapt, revise, and re-enter the arena with sharper tools and stronger minds. Every defeat carries within it a seed. That seed is instruction. If you learn from your failure, if you extract wisdom from your mistakes, then failure becomes your greatest ally. Most people avoid failure as if it were poison, but the wealthy know better. Failure, properly used, is fertilizer. It strengthens the soil of your character. It prepares you for greater victories. You must make persistence your way of being, not a temporary strategy. It must become part of your identity. You do not merely try, you endure, you evolve. You grow stronger through repetition, through hardship, through resistance. You begin each day not hoping that the path is easier, but trusting that you are stronger. You stop chasing comfort and begin building resilience. And in that shift, you become untouchable. Persistence begins with desire. If your goal is weak, your commitment will be weaker. But when your desire is burning, when it consumes your attention and commands your energy, then persistence becomes natural. You do not need to force it. You are pulled by purpose. And when purpose leads the way, fatigue loses its grip and distractions lose their appeal. You become a force of nature, moving forward with quiet intensity. The habits you form in private shape the wealth you receive in public. No one sees the late nights, the doubts, the repetition, the inner battles. But that is where the rich are made. In the moments when no one is watching, in the quiet hours where persistence becomes your prayer and consistency becomes your anthem. Success may appear to the world as sudden, but it is always the result of invisible labor sustained by persistence. Remind yourself daily, temporary defeat is not failure, it is feedback, it is redirection. The path to your riches may not look how you imagined, but if your desire remains and your faith stands strong, then even detours lead to destination. Trust the long game, trust the invisible roots you are growing through each act of discipline. They will bear fruit in time. The voices of doubt will always be louder than the voices of faith, especially in the beginning. The world may not believe in your vision. They may laugh, ignore, or resist. That does not matter. What matters is what you tell yourself when the noise gets loud. What matters is the voice you choose to listen to. Let that voice be one of power, not pity. Let that voice say, I will persist until the outcome is mine. You are not competing with others. You are competing with your past, with your excuses, with your habits. Each day when you rise, you are given the chance to outgrow who you were yesterday. And that is the only race that matters. The race against stagnation, the pursuit of your higher self, the journey from average to exceptional, from ordinary to remarkable, from dreamer to doer. Persistence requires energy, yes, but more than that, it requires focus. In 2025, distraction is the enemy of growth. You must guard your attention as fiercely as your finances. You must say no often and say yes only to what fuels your fire. Eliminate the habits that leak your time. Silence the voices that dim your courage. Cut away anything that does not support the vision you are called to build. There will be days you feel empty, days when motivation fails. That is when discipline must lead. When your emotions are weak, let your decision be strong. Do not wait to feel like it. Act anyway. Progress does not ask if you're in the mood. Wealth does not respond to temporary passion. It rewards sustained motion. And the one who grows rich is the one who keeps showing up. You have what it takes. You may not feel it every moment, but the seeds are already in you. And with each act of persistence, you water those seeds. You give them permission to grow. You prove to yourself that your word is law, that your future is yours to command, and that no circumstance, no setback, no doubt has the power to outrun a mind made up. In every age, knowledge has been praised. But in 2025, knowledge surrounds us like air. It floods our screens, our inboxes, our feeds. Never before in history has the world offered so much information, so fast, so freely, and yet the majority remains stuck. Why? Because they confuse knowledge with power. When in truth, knowledge is only potential. It becomes power only when acted upon with precision and persistence. You may read all the books, attend all the seminars, watch all the videos, but if you do not use what you learn, you remain unchanged. Education without execution is entertainment. If you seek to grow rich, you must become a practitioner, not a spectator. Learn, yes, but learn with purpose. Learn to act. Learn to move forward with what you know, even if the path is not fully lit, because the first steps of wealth are often taken in the dark. Specialized knowledge is the compass of riches. General information, while useful, cannot set you apart. You must choose an area, a craft, a problem you feel called to solve and go deep. You must study it, master it, refine it, until your name becomes synonymous with excellence in that field. Because the market does not reward the one who knows everything, it rewards the one who solves something better than anyone else. In today's world, attention is the currency, and attention flows to those who demonstrate mastery, not just loud voices, but clear value. You do not need to be famous to be wealthy. You need to be effective. Let your work speak. Let your skill shine. Let your results create their own echo. That is how you earn trust. That is how you attract opportunity, respect, and wealth without ever having to beg for it. You do not need to know everything before you begin. That is a lie the mind tells you to delay your greatness. Begin with what you have where you are, and then grow. The mind expands in motion. The answers you seek often appear only after you've taken the first step. There is wisdom that can never be found in books, only in doing, in failing, in adjusting, in persevering. You must become a student of action. Surround yourself with knowledge, yes, but more importantly, surround yourself with direction. Read books that teach you how to move forward. Listen to voices that pull you upward. Seek mentors who live the life you aspire to. And then act on what you learn. Test it. Fail forward. Make adjustments. Repeat. This is the rhythm of progress, the heartbeat of transformation. Intelligence is not about memorization. It is about application. It is not how much you know, but how well you use what you know. A single, well-applied idea can change the course of your life. A single insight, acted upon with belief and discipline, can become the spark that ignites your empire. But the idea alone is not enough. It is the follow-through that counts. It is the execution that makes the difference. The wealthy are not those who simply consume knowledge. They are those who turn it into tools. They act, they test, they build. They apply what they know in the marketplace. They refine their methods until the world cannot ignore the results. That is how wealth is built, not through mere learning, but through learned action. In 2025, there are two kinds of people, those who watch and those who build. Which will you be? The watchers scroll, compare, complain, and stay the same. The builders focus, plan, execute, and rise. The choice is yours. But remember, wealth does not come from opinions. It comes from value, from solving real problems, from delivering results in a way that only you can. Your mind is your greatest asset, but it must be trained, sharpened, and directed. Allow it to wander aimlessly, and it will chase distractions. Train it with purpose, and it will chase opportunity. You must become ruthless with your focus, disciplined with your learning, and relentless with your execution. This is not a burden. It is a gift. You are being invited to build something lasting, something great. Ask yourself, what do I know deeply? What can I learn better than anyone I know? How can I use this to serve others, solve problems, and create wealth not just for myself, but for those around me? The answers to these questions are not just theoretical, they are practical. They are the blueprint of your future income. You will not become wealthy by absorbing knowledge alone, but you will become powerful by combining knowledge with action, vision with effort, and intention with relentless pursuit. That is the formula for greatness. That is the legacy of every self-made success, and that is now the challenge placed before you. You must choose to master your mind, master your craft, and master your time. Learn with urgency, act with clarity, refine with patience, and most of all, believe that the wealth you seek is not found in the information, it is found in the implementation. You are not waiting for the perfect answer, you are building it step by step with every action you take. Everything you now see, touch, and use was once imagined. The chair beneath you, the phone in your hand, the house you live in. These were once invisible thoughts, held in the mind of a single individual, until belief and persistence made them real. In 2025, the true currency is creativity. In a world of automation and imitation, it is the original thinker, the imaginative soul, who writes the future. Imagination is not merely for artists or dreamers. It is for every builder, every leader, every person who dares to step beyond what already exists. If you wish to grow rich, you must first become rich in vision. You must learn to see not what is, but what could be. And then you must hold that vision steady in your mind until it begins to shape your reality. There are two types of imagination, synthetic and creative. Synthetic imagination combines existing ideas in new ways. It is practical, efficient, and powerful when directed toward a clear goal. Creative imagination is deeper. It draws from a higher place, a place beyond logic, beyond experience. It whispers ideas that have never been seen. It guides you with flashes of inspiration, sparks of genius. Both are vital, and both must be cultivated. When you sit in stillness and allow your mind to drift forward, to imagine your ideal life, your ideal business, your ideal self, you are not wasting time. You are laying bricks in the invisible realm, preparing the structure of what will later become visible. This is the creative process. It begins in silence. It begins with inner seeing, and it ends in transformation. In 2025, distractions war for your attention. Social media, news, endless updates, all pulling you away from the sanctuary of your mind. But if you wish to rise, you must carve out space to think. You must retreat daily into your imagination, not to escape the world, but to create a better one. You must become intentional about envisioning success in full detail, how it looks, how it feels, how it sounds. The more real it becomes in your mind, the more inevitable it becomes in your life. Imagination is the soil, desire is the seed, action is the water, and faith is the sun. When all four are combined, you grow miracles. But without imagination, even the best ideas shrivel. They need a space to live, a space to be refined, a space to grow. That space is your mind, ruled by your will, fueled by your focus. Guard it like a sacred chamber. The greatest minds in history, Edison, Ford, Carnegie, Gates, Jobs, they all shared this ability. They could see what wasn't there yet, and they believed in it long before the world did. They used imagination as a tool, not a toy. They held their vision through ridicule, delay, and failure, and in doing so, they reshaped the world. You must do the same, in your own field, in your own way. When you imagine with intensity, you activate forces far beyond understanding. Your subconscious begins to accept your vision as reality. It adjusts your thoughts, your reactions, your perception. You begin to notice opportunities you once missed. You begin to speak differently, walk differently, decide differently, not because anything outside has changed, but because your inner image has shifted. Imagination is the rehearsal for reality. The world responds not to what you want, but to what you consistently see and believe. So make your vision powerful, make it vivid, make it personal. Walk through it in your mind daily, touch it, hear it, feel the joy of its arrival. This is not foolishness. This is how leaders lead. This is how empires begin. If your current life is not what you desire, do not despair. Use it as fuel. Let the contrast drive you deeper into vision. Every discomfort, every frustration is a signal, a call to imagine something greater. Don't just complain, create. Don't just wish, envision. Don't just observe. You are not limited by your current tools, your current circumstances, or even your past. You are limited only by the image you hold of what's possible. Expand that image. Stretch your thinking. Refuse to settle for what is. Demand more from your mind, because your mind contains multitudes. It is the gate to infinite possibility if you dare to unlock it. You must make imagination a daily discipline. Not a passive daydream, but an active meditation, a focused session where you design your future with clarity. This is where wealth begins, not in markets, not in meetings, but in moments of silence, when you dare to dream with purpose, when you dare to write the script of your life and then live it, line by line, with faith and fire. Let your imagination serve your mission. Let it guide your strategy. Sharpen your decisions. Inspire your innovation. Let it be the lighthouse when storms rage, the compass when confusion clouds your path. It is your inner vision that gives meaning to every external step. And it is that vision, held long enough, deeply enough, powerfully enough, that eventually transforms your life. In the grand story of every successful life, there is a turning point. A moment when the individual made a decision so strong, so final, that everything else began to rearrange around it. In 2025, with options everywhere and opinions in every direction, the rarest trait is not intelligence or charisma or even talent. The rarest trait is decisive action, and the man or woman who cultivates it stands at the helm of their own destiny. Indecision is the silent killer of desire. It delays momentum, weakens faith, and invites confusion. Those who waver in the face of choice allow life to choose for them, and life, left to randomness, will rarely deliver the results you truly want. To grow rich, you must become decisive, not reckless but firm. You must weigh, then act. You must evaluate, then move. And once you decide, you must not retreat. Most people fail not because they chose poorly, but because they never truly chose at all. They danced around their dreams. They delayed. They asked for too many opinions. They waited until they felt ready, which never came. But wealth does not wait. It rewards the bold, the committed, the clear. Your decision is the birth of your results. No decision, no destiny. Every great fortune begins with a decision, a committed desire to do, to be, to create. That decision may not guarantee ease, but it guarantees progress. It initiates motion. It awakens parts of your mind that lay dormant when you live passively. And once you make a decision, truly make it, you become a different person. You start to move like someone with purpose, and life responds to that. Do not allow fear to keep you in limbo. Fear thrives where clarity is missing, and clarity is born the moment you choose. Decide what you want. Decide who you must become to have it. Decide what you are willing to give, change, and become in pursuit of it. Then begin, even if you are afraid. The habit of decisive action will carry you further than years of passive study. You do not need to have it all figured out. You only need to decide what matters most and act on it now. When you practice this often enough, you begin to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, your inner voice grows louder than the noise around you. The world is filled with people who think, but it is led by those who decide, not because they always choose perfectly, but because they are willing to learn, adjust, and commit. Your first decision may not be your final direction, but it will be your first step toward wisdom, experience, and real momentum. You cannot steer a parked car, but once you move, you can always correct. Decide to stop waiting. Decide to stop seeking endless reassurance. Decide that you are capable, worthy, and responsible for creating your own results. Because once you make that shift internally, you begin to see opportunities where others see obstacles. You begin to respond instead of react. You begin to take ownership of your time, your thoughts, your income, and your future. Weak decisions lead to weak results. But strong decisions, backed by belief, fueled by persistence, and guided by purpose, create miracles. There is no such thing as a perfect choice, but there is power in making a choice and giving it everything you have. That commitment is where the extraordinary is born. Understand this. Hesitation is a habit. So is decisiveness. Each time you choose quickly and confidently, you strengthen the muscle of trust within yourself. You train your subconscious to act with certainty. And when your inner world is aligned, your outer world begins to follow. People respond to clarity. Money responds to leadership. The universe responds to certainty. Stop giving energy to decisions that don't move your mission forward. Simplify your life. Streamline your choices. Choose what aligns with your goal and say no to what doesn't. The most successful people do not do more, they do less with more intensity and more intention. Decide what matters, focus on that, eliminate the rest. You must also decide how you will respond to adversity, because it will come, but will you crumble or grow? Will you react with emotion or respond with wisdom? This is a decision, not a fate. Every challenge offers you a moment to decide who you are becoming. Use those moments well. Let them shape you into someone unshakable. Now, look at your life. What decisions have you delayed? What desires have you postponed by waiting for permission? Make a choice today. Begin the process of building the future you've only imagined. The door will not open until you knock. The way will not appear until you walk. Your riches will not come until you make the decision to become the person worthy of them. No man has ever risen to great heights entirely alone. Every extraordinary achievement, every empire built, every great fortune ever amassed has always been the result of minds working in harmony, united by purpose and vision. In 2025, individualism may be glorified, but lasting success belongs to those who understand and harness the power of the mastermind. A mastermind is not simply a group or a meeting. It is a spiritual and intellectual alliance between two or more individuals who work in complete harmony to achieve a definite purpose. When minds are aligned in this way, something invisible happens. A third higher mind is created, greater than the sum of its parts. It begins to generate new ideas, solve complex problems, and attract opportunities that none of the members could have created alone. This is one of the most underestimated truths of wealth. You are powerful, but you are far more powerful when you align yourself with others who share your level of commitment, vision, and energy. You need not many, only a few, but they must be the right few. People who believe in what you're building, people who bring knowledge, experience, wisdom, or even just unwavering belief to the table. In 2025, your network is not just social, it is strategic. It is spiritual. Surround yourself not with those who merely cheer you on, but with those who challenge you to grow. Align yourself with people who will not let you stay small. Find those who speak the language of ambition, who hold themselves to high standards, who do not tolerate excuses, and your results will multiply. You must be deliberate in choosing your mastermind. Begin by looking inward. Who do you need beside you? What strengths do you lack? What voices would sharpen your vision? Seek out those people, and if you can't find them right away, start becoming the kind of person they would want to work with. Elevate yourself, and you will begin to attract those who live at that level. The mastermind is not about hierarchy. It is about harmony. Each person brings something vital. One may have strategy, another execution, another creative vision, another faith that never wavers, and together they become a force. When you speak your vision aloud to someone who truly understands it, something awakens. That energy creates momentum. That support becomes a scaffold for success. You cannot do everything alone, nor should you. Pride must give way to purpose. Ego must give way to elevation. There is strength in vulnerability. There is wisdom in collaboration. You are not here to prove your worth by isolation. You are here to fulfill your mission with power, and power multiplies through unity. The great inventors, the titans of industry, the pioneers of thought, they all had inner circles. They all had trusted minds who helped refine their ideas, reinforce their faith, and challenge their blind spots. If you are serious about growing rich, not just financially, but spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually, you must cultivate such alliances in your own life. Meet regularly, share openly, listen deeply, lift each other, hold each other accountable, celebrate victories, and study failures together. Let the energy of the group become a flame that keeps your own fire alive. There will be days when your belief falters, but theirs will carry you. There will be days when they fall, and you will become their strength. This is the sacred rhythm of the mastermind. Even two aligned minds, when truly committed, can change the course of history. The synergy becomes electric. Ideas flow. Confidence rises. Solutions appear. This is not luck, it is law. When the minds of men or women are in sync, when they are governed by harmony and directed by a clear aim, the universe begins to respond. It cannot do otherwise. And understand this, the mastermind extends beyond the physical. Your alignment with higher principles, truth, integrity, vision, discipline also creates a mastermind with forces greater than your own. Call it God, call it the universe, call it divine intelligence, But when your actions, your thoughts, and your associations are aligned, that higher power begins to work through you, opening doors no man can close. So ask yourself now, who are you surrounding yourself with? Who are you allowing to influence your thoughts, your energy, your vision? Do they uplift you, sharpen you, expand you, or do they drain you, distract you, limit you? This is not just preference. This is life and death for your dream. Choose wisely, and if you must walk alone until the right people arrive, do so with faith. The right allies always appear when the vision is true and the commitment is firm. Make it your mission to not only find a mastermind, but to be someone else's. Become the kind of person who helps others grow. Give without keeping score, inspire without demanding credit. The more you lift others, the more you rise yourself. That is one of the most powerful secrets of wealth. What you give in genuine service returns in multiplied form. Beneath every action you take, behind every word you speak, and within every habit you form, there is a silent power directing your life. That power is the subconscious mind. You do not see it, you cannot touch it, but it governs your beliefs, your responses, your results. In 2025, in this age of noise and overstimulation, your ability to master this inner world is the difference between passive survival and purposeful success. Your subconscious does not think, it obeys. It does not reason, it accepts. Whatever you consistently tell it, believe in, or visualize with emotion, it begins to internalize and express through your behavior, your emotions, and your circumstances. If you fill it with doubt, you begin to sabotage yourself. But if you feed it with wealth-conscious thoughts, confident images, and empowering beliefs, it begins to lead you toward opportunity, prosperity, and right action effortlessly. The subconscious mind never sleeps. It records everything, every word you say about yourself, every thought you dwell on, every picture you mentally rehearse. You may not realize it, but you are constantly programming your future by what you allow to take root in your mind. If you repeatedly say, "I'm not good with money," your subconscious believes it. If you say, "I'm not lucky," it will make you right. But if you say, "I am a creator of wealth," with enough emotion and consistency, it begins to work behind the scenes to make that statement real. You must become intentional with the thoughts you entertain, especially before you sleep, especially when you wake. These are the moments when the subconscious is most impressionable. Speak your goals aloud. Visualize your success in vivid detail. Feel it, taste it, live it in your mind. The more real it becomes internally, the more magnetic it becomes externally. The subconscious will begin to arrange circumstances, trigger insights, and attract people that align with that dominant mental image. This is not mysticism, it is mental alignment. The subconscious drives 95% of your behavior. It governs your automatic responses. It fuels your daily decisions. And most people leave it untrained, filled with the residue of fear, failure, and limitation. But you must become the master gardener. You must uproot the weeds of doubt and deliberately plant seeds of wealth, courage, vision, and faith. This inner cultivation determines your outer harvest. Your spoken words are commands to your subconscious, so speak carefully, speak with purpose, eliminate sarcasm, self-deprecation, and all humor that disguises insecurity. The subconscious does not understand jokes. It hears only the message. Tell it who you are and say it with strength. I am worthy. I am disciplined. I am a magnet for wealth. I am becoming more powerful every day. These are not affirmations, they are declarations. The more you repeat them, the more they shape your life. Guard your emotional state, because emotion is the language of the subconscious. A thought mixed with strong emotion becomes a belief, and a belief becomes behavior. So whenever you feel gratitude, excitement, or joy, attach those feelings to your vision, see your future clearly, and feel it now. This emotional rehearsal teaches your subconscious that success is not foreign, it is familiar, it is safe, it is natural, and it will begin to guide you toward it. Be cautious of what you consume. Music, conversations, news, entertainment, all of it seeps into your subconscious. If you fill your mind with negativity, your internal programming will reflect it. But if you feed your mind with excellence, purpose, and power, you begin to rewire your default state. You begin to think like a leader, speak like a visionary, and act like someone who was born to win. This work is quiet. It happens when no one is watching. But it is the most important work you will ever do, because the thoughts you repeat today will become the habits you live tomorrow. And those habits, driven by your subconscious, will determine whether you rise or remain, whether you build a life of wealth or continue to circle the same patterns of lack and limitation. In 2025, external noise will never stop, but you can rise above it by mastering your inner signal, and the strongest signal is clarity. A mind trained to focus on a single purpose, reinforced with faith and supported by emotional alignment. When your subconscious accepts your vision, your actions begin to shift automatically. You will begin to move toward wealth not with struggle, but with certainty. Understand this. Your subconscious mind does not care whether your thoughts serve you or hurt you. It only responds to repetition and emotion. You are the one who must choose what to plant. So choose well. Choose thoughts that empower. Choose visions that excite. Choose words that build, not break, because you are always programming your future, every moment, every word, every belief. From this day forward, make a covenant with yourself. You will only speak what you want to see. You will only dwell on what you wish to create. You will visualize your goals daily. You will feel your success before it arrives. And you will know that beneath the surface, your subconscious is building the life you have commanded. Everything you desire, every dollar, every achievement, every experience that fills your heart with purpose and your life with meaning already exists in potential form. Your riches are not lost. They are not hiding. They are waiting, waiting for you to become the version of yourself that is ready to receive them. Because you do not simply get rich, you grow rich by growing into the kind of person who can hold it, create it, and sustain it. Riches come to those who think yes, but more deeply, to those who think rightly. You must no longer wait to be chosen. You must choose yourself. You must take everything you've learned in this journey and make it your new standard. Let every thought, every word, every action reflect a man or woman who already believes in their worth, who walks with the posture of purpose, and who speaks the language of destiny. No more hesitation, no more wishing, no more someday. Today is the day you make the shift from thinking about success to thinking from success. This is the highest level of thought, not observing wealth from a distance, but claiming it in your mind as if it were already yours. Because once you believe, once you act, once you persist, the outer world must eventually mirror the inner one. That is not opinion, that is law. You are no longer a seeker, you are a creator. You are no longer someone who hopes, you are someone who knows. And in this knowing, in this calm, unwavering state of certainty, you become magnetic to opportunity, to allies, to money, to growth. You no longer need to chase, you attract, because you have become the person who naturally receives the outcome you desire. The principles are now in your hands. Desire is your fuel. Faith is your compass. Persistence is your armor. Specialized knowledge is your toolkit. Imagination is your laboratory. Decision is your engine. The master mind is your counsel. The subconscious is your worker. All of it, every chapter, every insight, is now part of you, not as theory, but as lived reality. You must now return to your life, not as the same person who began this journey, but as the one who now understands the invisible game. You are no longer reactive. You are intentional. You do not merely survive the day. You design the day. You choose your thoughts. You command your attention. You speak with conviction. You move with purpose. You work from vision, not from memory. In 2025, many will scroll past their dreams. They will distract themselves into mediocrity, but not you. You have seen what most never will. You have felt the power of a focused mind. You have remembered that riches are not found, they are made, in silence, in repetition, in small, unseen acts of courage and commitment. Every day you hold the image of success in your mind is a day you mold your future with invisible hands. Wealth, real wealth, is not merely in your bank account. It is in your being. It is in how you think when no one is watching. It is in how you act when no one is applauding. It is in your self-image, your character, your habits, your integrity. These are the roots. And when the roots are deep, the tree can weather any storm. So walk now into your life with renewed fire. Make no apology for your ambition. Make no excuse for your discipline. Let the world call you obsessed. Let them call you different. That is fine, because when the results come, they will also call you wise. They will call you fortunate. They will call you a leader, and you will know the truth. You simply decided to think and grow rich. Now is your moment. Today, not tomorrow, is your opportunity to begin. Do not delay. Revisit your purpose. Refine your plans. Speak your vision. Take that first step. Then another and another. Let momentum become your ally. Let every day be a vote cast for the future you are building. It does not need to happen overnight, but it must begin today. Repeat these words within yourself every morning. I was born to create wealth. I have the mind for success. I choose faith. I choose action. I choose growth. I am becoming greater every day. Let this be your new language. Let it shape your state. Let it sculpt your identity. Because when your identity changes, your results can do nothing but follow. The principles in this message are timeless. They worked in 1937. They work in 2025. They will work in 2125. Because they are not built on trend. They are built on truth. And the truth is this. You can become rich in every way that matters if you are willing to think deeply, believe fiercely, and act consistently. This is not the end. This is your beginning. From this moment forward, you are no longer the same. You know the path. You know the principles. And now the world awaits the version of you who has finally stepped into the role of creator, not just of wealth, but of a legacy.